Good morning, everyone. Let's traverse a 2,000-year paradoxical journey that completely changed how I see and live every single moment. I'm Anya, and if I had to describe myself in one sentence, I'd say I'm someone who overthinks and finds deeper meanings in everything. That's why I have the ability to turn 2-minute conversations into 2-hour research sessions. The other day, I was wondering how infinity is so hard for us to understand, but yet, in some aspect, in some way, it exists in every situation we will ever come across. So, the Zeno's paradox suggests that every moment can be divided infinitely. He illustrates this with a story about Achilles, the fastest runner in Greece, and a tortoise. Achilles gives the tortoise a head start in a race, and every time he reaches the spot where the tortoise was, it has already moved a bit further ahead. So, no matter how fast Achilles runs, this chase seems to continue forever, an endless loop that challenges how we think about motion, time, and infinity. Interestingly, the idea behind Zeno's paradox isn't just seen in Greek philosophy, it also appears in Hindu thought. Time or kal is seen as infinite and infinite and in a loop, not linear. Every moment is both fleeting and eternal, part of a cycle that has no beginning and no end. The Upanishad even describe reality as being led infinitely, just like how Zeno shows every step can be divided infinitely. Similarly, in Buddhism, the concept of shan or a single moment says that every moment has countless divisions within it, and yet, together, they make up the flow of time. Jainism also sees infinity as something without a beginning and end, an adi and anant. It says the universe was never created and never will be destroyed. It simply exists beyond time. But infinity doesn't stop there. Jainism teaches us that reality is made up of several eternal substances, each one infinite in their own way. One of the most important being the soul or jeev, which is conscious, eternal, and infinite. Alongside the soul are 5 other eternal substances: dharma, the principle that allows motion; adharma, the principle that enables rest; akasa, or space, which is infinite in extent; pudgala, or matter, which is infinite in forms; and time, or kal, which is infinite and eternal. Jainism offers us a vision of reality where infinity is within us. It's in movement and stillness, in space and in time, in the soul and in the body. So, if infinity is real, why can't we ever reach the end of it or hold it completely? This was answered by Aristotle. He believed that infinity can only exist potentially and not actually, because you can always keep adding 1 to a number, so there's no largest number, or keep dividing time in half, so there's no smallest moment. But you won't reach a finished infinity, because infinity may be eternal in duration, but it can't exist all at once, as it's a process that continues endlessly. All these paradoxes and theories are philosophies from a long time ago. More recently, Hilbert's Hotel and Cantor's hierarchy empirically study the concept of infinity in rational subjects like maths. So the mathematician David Hilbert imagines a hotel with infinite rooms, and every one of those rooms is full. Normally, that would just mean no vacancy. But in Hilbert's hotel, there's always room for more. So when just one more guest arrives, every current guest shifts to the room next to theirs. So room 1 becomes free. The strange part is, no matter how many guests arrive, there will always be space for them, as infinity plus 1 is just a larger infinity. The mathematician George Cantor showed that there's actually a hierarchy of infinities. They're not all the same size. For most of history, infinity was seen as a vast, ungraspable idea. But Cantor showed that there's actually a hierarchy. The infinity of whole numbers, such as 1, 2, 3, and so on, is endless. But the infinity of Real numbers, such as the decimals between 0 and 1, is even larger. He used a method called the diagonal argument to show that no matter how you try to list every decimal, you will always miss some, showing that infinity does, in fact, come in different sizes. Cantor revealed something extraordinary. He showed that infinity itself has layers, each one more immense than the last. But that doesn't answer my question entirely, does it? So why is it so hard for us to understand? That's because it's one of the topics that tests our limits. Every day we're surrounded by boundaries and measurements, such as the hours on a clock or the size of a room, and even the marks you score on a test. This wires our brains into believing in finite terms, in ranges, in beginnings and ends. And infinity challenges all these. That's what makes it such a beautifully unsettling topic. Even modern science gives us a reason to believe that infinity, every moment does in fact last forever. Physics shows us through the law of conservation of energy that energy is never lost. It just changes form. Light from stars that died billions of years ago, streaming across the universe, reaching us today. Neuroscience shows that every experience leaves new infinite pathways in your brain, for each moment shaping who we become. And these pathways stay there for eternity. In cosmology, Einstein's theory of relativity shows that time is not a flowing river, but a vast landscape where past, present, and future all exist at once. From this way, the moment we're living right now isn't disappearing. It remains embedded in the structure of space and time itself. The moment you think is fleeting is in fact eternal, woven into the very fabric of the universe. Infinity isn't just a topic to be studied by mathematicians, philosophers, and scientists. It's something that quietly exists in our everyday lives. After I learned about this, I realized how every emotion I experience it infinitely. Every moment I live it infinitely. Every conversation I go through it infinitely. Just doing my usual routine of thinking has led me to such a discovery. It's led me to live a better lifestyle, as every joyful emotion I feel it infinitely. Because infinity isn't in the stars or in equations. It's right here in this very moment. Thank you.